Imagine this. You book your flight months in advance. You carefully choose your seat. You arrive at the airport 3 hours early. You check in without any problems. Everything seems perfect. Then you walk up to the boarding gate. The airline employee tells you there isn't a seat for you because the flight is full. You freeze. You already paid for your ticket. You checked in. You did everything right. So how can there suddenly be no seat for you? It sounds impossible. If a plane has 180 seats, shouldn't the airline only sell 180 tickets? The truth is, they don't. Many airlines intentionally sell more tickets than there are seats on the plane. It sounds like a scam, but it's actually one of the smartest business decisions in the airline industry. And without it, airline tickets would probably be much more expensive. So why do airlines knowingly sell tickets for seats that don't exist? The answer begins with one simple fact. Not everyone who buys a ticket actually gets on the plane. Every single day, thousands of passengers miss their flights. Some arrive too late. Some cancel at the last minute. Some get stuck in traffic. Some change their travel plans. Some simply never show up. In the airline industry, these people are called no-shows. Airlines have spent decades collecting data about them. They know which routes have the most no-shows. They know which days people are more likely to miss a flight. They know the difference between business travelers and holiday travelers. They even know how weather affects passenger behavior. Their predictions are surprisingly accurate. Now imagine you're running an airline with a plane that has 180 seats. Based on years of data, you know that around 8 passengers usually don't show up. If you only sell 180 tickets, your plane will probably leave with about 8 empty seats. Those empty seats might not seem like a big deal, but to an airline, they're incredibly expensive. Once the plane takes off, those seats can never be sold again. That money is gone forever. Now imagine selling 188 tickets instead. If 8 passengers don't show up, every seat is filled. The airline earns more money without buying another plane or hiring more staff. This strategy is called overbooking. And surprisingly, it works most of the time. But statistics aren't perfect. Sometimes everyone shows up. Now the airline has a problem. There are more passengers than seats. This is why you sometimes hear announcements asking for volunteers to take a later flight. The airline isn't being generous. It's trying to solve a problem. It offers travel vouchers, cash, free meals, hotel accommodation, whatever it takes to convince someone to fly later. The longer nobody volunteers, the higher the offer becomes. Sometimes passengers receive hundreds of dollars. On busy flights, the compensation can even reach thousands. Some experienced travelers actually hope their flight is overbooked. They volunteer for the next flight and walk away with enough compensation to pay for another trip. But what happens if nobody volunteers? The airline has to choose someone. This is called involuntary denied boarding. It means a passenger who bought a valid ticket won't be allowed onto the plane. Airlines usually have rules for deciding who gets bumped. Passengers who checked in late, people with the cheapest tickets, or travelers without loyalty status may have a higher chance of being selected. The exact rules depend on the airline. At this point, you might be wondering why airlines don't simply stop overbooking. The answer is simple. Flying airplanes is incredibly expensive. Every flight costs money, whether every seat is occupied or not. Fuel, pilots, cabin crew, maintenance, airport fees, insurance, aircraft financing. These costs remain almost exactly the same. An empty seat doesn't make the flight any cheaper to operate. It simply means the airline earns less money. Multiply that by thousands of flights every day, and the losses become enormous. Modern airlines don't rely on guesses anymore. They use artificial intelligence, machine learning, advanced computer models, and decades of passenger data. The system predicts how many people are likely to miss each flight. It considers the route, the season, the time of day, the weather, past booking patterns, and many other factors. Some flights may only be oversold by 2 seats. Others might be oversold by 10 or more. It all depends on what the data predicts. Most passengers never realize their flight was overbooked. That's because the predictions are usually correct. Enough people fail to show up. Everyone who arrives still gets a seat. The system quietly works behind the scenes. Only when the prediction is wrong does it become news. Those are the videos you see online. Passengers arguing at the gate, People refusing to leave the aircraft, flights being delayed. Those situations are rare. Millions of overbooked flights operate successfully every year without anyone noticing. Many countries also have laws protecting passengers. If you're denied boarding against your will, the airline may have to pay you compensation. The amount often depends on how long you're delayed and how far you're traveling. That's another reason airlines first ask for volunteers. It's usually cheaper than forcing someone off the flight. Overbooking isn't unique to airlines. Hotels do it, car rental companies do it, concert venues sometimes do it. Many businesses know that not every customer who makes a booking will actually show up. Instead of planning for perfect attendance, they plan using probability. This reveals something interesting about the way businesses think. Customers think about one ticket, one seat, one promise. Businesses think about millions of customers, years of historical data, percentages, probabilities, and calculated risk. To them, every empty seat represents lost money. The next time you hear that a flight has been overbooked, you'll know what's really happening. The airline isn't trying to trick passengers. It's trying to solve one of the biggest financial challenges in aviation. Most of the time, the system works exactly as planned. Sometimes, it doesn't. And that's the trade-off airlines accept to keep planes as full as possible. Because in the airline business, the most expensive seat isn't the one that's occupied. It's the one that flies empty. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more stories that reveal the hidden business strategies behind the things we experience every day. Once you understand how money really works, you'll never look at the world the same way again.